All right, so look behind me. These are basketball players. They're not football players. But you know what? Just because I don't watch football like 24/7 and as much as some of you do, does not mean that I don't get to make some content about it. It is Super Bowl Sunday. It is about 4 hours prior to kickoff or whenever the festivities start. I wanted to get on record with YouTube and my channel and my content about what I think is going to happen with the Super Bowl. But before I get to my predictions and who I think is going to win, again, I'm just locking it in and I'm not going to delete this video. I wanted to talk to you about 10 fun facts that I found out about the Super Bowl and my opinions about them. So this is going to be straight from recording to publishing. There's not going to be any editing because, again, time is of the essence. I want to make sure I upload it before the Super Bowl starts so that I lock it in. So, and you know what? Like, again, these opinions, when you watch all these talking heads on TV, like, they played the game, they get paid millions of dollars, and there's so much money in football or any major sport, and yet they get it wrong half the time, right? So this is a coin. I'm going to do some flips at the end with some player props, team props, even who's going to win the game. And it is such a 50-50 proposition. And I know everyone tries to look for an edge and the sharps and the gambling. I'm going to get into all of that. So let me get to the very first thing that I found out about the Super Bowl. A lot of this stuff I knew, but I just kind of want to share it with you. And maybe you find this educational, not educational, entertaining, because none of this is really educational. This is like, again, what does my opinion matter compared to everyone else out there, right? So here we go. I guess the first thing I want to say is that this term Super Bowl is in fact a legal trademark. In 1969, the NFL trademarked Super Bowl. Since then, and I forget which website. I'll try to put it in the comments, in the description below. But it says even small businesses that have used Super Bowl to advertise watch parties or sales or savings, they have received cease and desist letters from NFL lawyers. So I know personally in my area in the DMV, which by the way, Commanders didn't make the Super Bowl, which is kind of maybe it'll happen in the next 3 years. But they call it Superb Owl, just moving the B over to super and then owl. So I thought that's kind of a silly, fun way. Also, some people say the big game or, Super Sunday, just ways to get around that because it seems like the NFL is very kind of set on making sure that they keep that trademark like really ironclad. My opinion on that, it's ridiculous. Let everyone say Super Bowl. This should even be a federal holiday after the Monday after Super Bowl. This is like America's holiday as much as it is with, like, say, Thanksgiving or 4th of July. The second fact is the 10 most watched TV programs and 19 of the top 20 are now Super Bowls. The MASH finale in February 1983 ranks 11th. That's incredible. That's insane. We know football, like any regular Sunday, does good numbers. This is why there's so much money in these TV contracts and all the ways to streaming and ways to kind of publish the games out. This is America more than any other sport. I love basketball. I think it's the most egalitarian. You just need a hoop. You don't even need a hoop to practice dribbling. I guess football, you can toss it around with a friend, but soccer, you can just dribble the ball. I think soccer and basketball are the most egalitarian sports in the world, and that's why they're so widely just accepted. But football, much as we think it can be like, from humble beginnings and like anyone can play it, we know, especially if you're a parent, it takes a village to get a football game going, to get a league going. We're talking about so many players on the team, so many parents involved, so much money in it too. So I think that it is a very American sport. It is the most team sport. It's the most oriented. I know baseball and basketball, these are all sport, hockey, they're all, team sports, but we know that the individual player just means a lot less in football because there's 22 players on the field at any given time versus basketball where there's only 10, right? And in baseball, you can kind of like pitch around a hitter, right? So I think the MLB is coming up with some new rule or some sort of nice, cool little gimmick where you can have like a golden bat. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen in 2025, but I heard something about that. Let's go to fact number 3. For the second time ever, both teams will start a black quarterback. Patrick Mahomes for the Chiefs and Jalen Hurts for the Eagles. It's the second time because the first time was actually 2 years ago in 2023 when it was Super Bowl 57. And yes, it was the same two quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. So I think the opinion I had for fact number 3 is I think this is why neither America doesn't want either team to win, because this is a rerun of Super Bowl 57. Kind of talking about the TV thing in fact number 2 about MASH. I mean, we want to see novelty. We want to see new storylines. This is the same storyline. I know it's going to be different plays, different score, different, here and there. I know it's not the Kelsey Bowl because Jason Kelsey retired, but it's still kind of like we just saw this 2 years ago. So that's why I'm going to get to, when I do my predictions, why I'm okay with whoever wins. I have no dog in the fight, so to speak. Number 4 is that 2 teams are tied for the most Super Bowl titles. Those teams are the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have 6 Super Bowls each. Pittsburgh, they like to call themselves Sixburgh, which, sure, hey, if you've got that many and you can do a little, dad pun, that's great. Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers are close behind with 5 wins each. So all 4 of those teams right now, at least in this past NFL season of 2024, they struggled. I know the Steelers did the best out of them, but I personally, I'm not a fan of any of those teams. They've won a lot, and again, I like rooting for novelty and like different outcomes. And I'm gonna get to fact number 5 about teams that never won or never even got to a Super Bowl, but I don't mind if they all lose for a long time. They've won too much. Okay, so fact number 5 is on the flip side. 4 teams have never played in the Super Bowl, and the 4 are the Detroit Lions, Cleveland Browns, Houston Texans, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's interesting that 2 of them are in the same division, but they're newer too, right? I mean, they're not like they haven't been around forever. But having said that, the Lions, there were high hopes, but of course they lost to the Commanders. I'm not a huge Commanders fan. I just like rooting for the home team. I'm probably more Ravens, but again, not strong affinity. I don't have a strong fandom to any particular team, at least now. Even with NBA, I don't have like a current team. I like the players. I like player movement. I like to see good basketball, good football. I like to see riveting sporting events. I guess that's the way to put it. It sounded so robotic and weird, but my opinion on this, America, we love a good underdog. We have seen some first-time winners in the past 10 years in all of the major sports. I mean, even in our area, the Capitals won for the first time ever. The Nationals won for the first time ever, which was amazing. What else did I write here? The Cubs and the Red Sox. That was great. The Astros, I think in baseball. The Raptors, I know that for sure in NBA. So the list goes on and on. And it's kind of great to see, like, I still remember, like, when the Rangers, because I was a kid, I wasn't like a big hockey fan or a New York Rangers fan, but that iconic moment of when Mark Messier is like, lifting up the Stanley Cup and laughing maniacally and just so happy and so, just overcome with emotions. Like, that's what we like to see in sports. We like to see the emotion, So, it'd be weird if, like, well, I guess when Kawhi won, it's just like deadpanned, or like, who else is like a pretty deadpan guy? Jokic, it's like, he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I won the championship. All right, can I go back to my horses? Something like that. So we love to see underdogs win as America. Number 6, the 6th fact, Tom Brady is the individual player who has won the most Super Bowls. He has won 7 Super Bowls. I'll just read the numbers out real quick. He won it in 02, 04, 05, 2015, 2017, 2019, and 2021. Wow. As a 90s kid, I always thought Joe Montana was going to be the GOAT. And I mean, I think that especially with the last 2 and coming back and like just overcoming adversity and just people actually counting him out, I actually believe that it is absolutely unassailable. Tom Brady is the GOAT. He could also arguably be the GOAT of all GOATs. And I say that as a Jordan guy or a Jordan kid. Just 7 Super Bowls in a team sport where, you can only do so much as the quarterback. You don't control the defense. I mean, maybe that's an argument as to why he's not the GOAT of all GOATs. So anyway, Um, but yeah, I thought Joe Montana was the GOAT. And then when he won the last two, I'm like, what can you say? Like, this is absolutely insane. Fact number 7 for 40, and this is more like percentages and like opinion and results and polls. So this is not maybe like factual. Fact number 7 for 43% of the viewers, the game is the most important part of the Super Bowl. Another 19% said the halftime show is the most important. 17% that answered the TV ads. I don't even think that adds up to 100%. I don't know what happened to the other. I mean, what is it? 60, 79. I don't know where the other like 21% of people are. They probably answered food, which I'm going to get to actually in fact 9 and 10, 8 and 9. But it is such a cultural phenomenon. We bring, us sports fans bring in the non-sports fans underneath the tent of sports. It is like I said, a very much an American holiday. We just have a great time. It's a party atmosphere wherever you celebrate it. And it's just like, yeah, it's a cultural gathering. It's a cultural phenomenon specific to America. And that's what I love about it, because football, more than any other sport, really brings communities together, whether it's local with the high school teams, college, professional. Like, I gotta say, our area, my area in the DMV, people were like so happy, like whether it was the grocery stores or like just kind of like driving, like there was like less honking and less like road rage, but people were just like happier when the local team does better, or is like excelling and getting to the playoffs and all this stuff. Fact number 8: next to Thanksgiving, now we're getting to the food, which you guys know I love. The Super Bowl is the second most popular day to order takeout food. An estimated 48 million, which is 1 in 7 Americans, are projected to order takeout. Pizza accounts for about 60% of takeout orders. One, I think that's a lot for pizza. I think for me, it's like wings are the Super Bowl thing and like dip and all that. But I can understand why people want to just order pizza and make it easy. But secondly, I read this and I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean the Super Bowl is the second most popular day to order takeout food next to Thanksgiving? Like who is outsourcing Thanksgiving? I don't understand how Thanksgiving is the day when the people order the most takeout food. Like, aren't people, even if you're not hosting or going to a gathering at someone's house, like, aren't you like maybe even eating out at a restaurant? I don't know. This one perplexed me, but I wanted to share it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Fact number 9: an estimated, and I love this, 1.25 billion chicken wings will be eaten on Super Sunday. In addition, I can't say all of this. This is crazy. 19 million pounds of chips, potato and tortilla, 140 pounds. 140 pounds of avocado? That's got to be like 140 million pounds. I don't know. These facts are probably all jacked up. 140 pounds of avocado for guacamole dip. That's way too low. Oh, I bet you it means tons, because it says Mexico is exporting 110,000 tons of avocado. Yeah, 140 tons of avocado. 325 million gallons of beer, which is 50 million cases, will be drunk. Super Sunday is the second most popular day of the year to grill after the 4th of July. Wings, chips, dip, drinking. The opinion part of this part is I love to grill year round, so I fully endorse this. I might grill the wings for this year. I've done it in the past. I also like doing like the Instant Pot. Again, convenience. It is fall off the bones. It's not crispy doing it that way. But I will eat wings of any sort. I mean, look at me, right? So, but one thing, and I will fight each and every one of you in the comments over this if you've gotten this far, but it is always flats over drums. That's me. But that's, you know what? That's not just me. That should be everyone. Not that I'm going to throw away a drumstick, but flats over drums. Fight me in the comments. Fact number 10. And here we go. And this is intentionally the 10th fact because I wanted to transition into the prop bets. This is called being professional and knowing what you're doing, ladies and gentlemen. 1.7 billion. Now, this is very arguable, and again, it depends on who's getting these facts. But one fact that apparently is unassailable, because they can look it up with like the apps and track it, all that, because of all the regulations, state regulations. 68 million Americans will be betting on the Super Bowl. One website told me $1.7 billion will be wagered. but apparently the American Gaming Association estimates that 68 million, I'm sorry, that the 68 million Americans will wager $23 billion. So there's a big difference between 1.7 and 23 billion. But, who's reporting these numbers? I don't know. So instead, since it's not a fact that I can like fact check in this very limited time, let's pull out a survey result. 80% of American adults support legalization of sports betting in their state of residence. That seems really high. I'm not a gambler. I think sealed wax is enough of a gamble. But to me, when I read that, I'm like, wow, 4 out of every 5 American adults supports gambling in their state of residence. I guess. When you see all the ads, it's all gambling. Every gambling company, everyone who's, even like Fanatics Bets, right? We got BetMGM, 365 Bet, Caesars, DraftKings. I mean, it goes on and on. But, let's use an actual fact for fact number 10. Here we go. 38 states out of our 50 in the United States of America allow for legal gambling of the Super Bowl. 4 are pending legislation, going through the process. 7 have no legislation, and there is 1 state where it is legal to gamble sports betting, but it is not operational, meaning it got through the process, but they haven't set up an actual casino or app or, whatever it is. And that state, I don't know if you want to guess. I'm going to say it now because I got to keep moving on with this, but I will share with you that it's MISSISSIPPI. It is Mississippi. I don't know what's going on in that state, but congrats that you will eventually be operational with your sports gambling. Again, I'll put the descriptions on where I found these sources, and who knows, get your news where you get it. So let's get to the fun, silly part, my props and my pick for the Super Bowl winner. I am going to make my own personal prediction, which I'm going to get on camera, and then I'm going to flip a coin, and the coin is also going to tell us what it thinks about these player prop bets. So before we get to like player prop bets, and I'm only going to do 5 total prop bets. 2 of them are going to be like novelty, meaning like it's like coin toss, which I'm going to coin toss for the coin toss. And then we're going to do the national anthem. And then I'll do 2 player prop bets that I think are interesting or maybe more popular. And then one about game, not game outcome, but what might happen in the game. Okay, here we go. So this is silly. Again, this is all, I do not endorse sports gambling. I'm not going to put any money on this stuff. I know even hobby content creators are getting into the gambling side with like DraftKings and getting sponsorships. I don't think I'm going to do any of that. I think that, but if you do any of this, do it responsibly. It's kind of like drinking. It's an adult thing. Do it responsibly. And just do it for fun. Okay. Coin toss. Apparently, out of the last 58 Super Bowls, heads has won 28 times for 48%. Tails has won 30 times for 52%. Tails is actually also more heavily bet on as this novelty bet. Heads has the longest streak of 5, and Tails has the longest streak of 4, 3 times. What else is here? The coin has landed on heads in 3 out of the last 4 Super Bowls. At Super Bowl 57, which was the Chiefs versus the Eagles the last time, Tails snapped a 2-game Super Bowl win streak for heads. Tails has had plenty of luck this century, having gone on a 4-year winning streak during the mid-2010s. The Super Bowl coin has come up tails in 6 of the last 10 Super Bowls. And in the final factoid, out of the 58 Super Bowls played thus far, just 27 teams have won the coin flip and the game. Given all those odds, given all those facts, how do I not go tails? I'm going to go tails. Actually, you know what? I bet they want me to go tails, so I'm going to go heads. So yes, I just overthought that. I'm going to go heads. Lock me in. I'm heads. And this coin is a coin that I used to beat Jeff Wilson in in a Wemby versus Josh Allen trade. Not versus, but I traded a Josh Allen downtown PSA 10 for a Wemby silver PSA 10, and this is the coin that I use. So for those of you who don't like Jeff Wilson, this netted me $160. Having said that, it was a fun time, and he's also a fellow Florida Gator, so I have no hate on the man whatsoever. Here we go. I went heads. This regular heads, regular tails. Let's see what the coin picks. And I do flip. You always got to flip. It's going tails. The coin is going tails for the coin flip. So that's where myself and the coin differ. National anthem. Let's do this. But what is his name? John Baptiste? I don't even know this person. Music definitely makes me feel the oldest out of all the, cultural things. The over-under odds are at the 120.5 seconds, or roughly 2 minutes. Apparently, it won't be an easy choice for gamblers, it says. His past renditions float right around 2 minutes from first to last note, depending on instrumentation and subtle arrangement shifts. I cannot believe they get this granular. This is again, gambling America. Recent history trends toward performers hitting the over on anthem odds. Since 2020, two singers, Demi Lovato and Chris Stapleton, went under the average gambling line, while three renditions of Reba McEntire, Eric Church, with Jasmine Sullivan and Mickey Guyton hit the over. The only person I know in there is Reba McEntire. Last year, McEntire clocked the shortest anthem time in more than a decade, finishing the song in 1 minute and 34 seconds. Look, she's older. She's like, we got to go. Let's go. I got to go to bed. Stapleton finished the song in 2 minutes and 5 seconds, while Sullivan and Church clocked in at just under 2 minutes. I don't know what any of this means. If he's, depending on the instrumentation and the subtle what? The subtle arrangement shifts. I'm guessing John Baptiste is young, so if the older people are going shorter and maybe he's younger and he wants to milk it, I'll go with the over. It seems like that's the more popular bet out of the bunch. Let's see what the coin says. Again, heads is over, under, tails is under. It is going tails for the under. So again, the coin and I are opposite sides. Number 3, again, I'm going to do 5 total. Patrick Mahomes, 5.5 rushing attempts. I don't have any stats on this. I don't have like here's what he done in playoffs and the last Super Bowl. This one and the next one, apparently. I just want to finish this video, to be honest with you. It's at 5.5 rushing attempts, not yards, just attempts. Does he run? Again, I don't know much about how he's been doing with his rushing. I know he is mobile. He doesn't get sacked very often, as far as I think. I don't have any of the stats to prove any of this stuff. But will he be pressured? Will he have, I guess a rushing attempt is if you try to run, right? I mean, like you can have negative yards rushing attempts and positive yards. But I could see... Does he run more? Does the Eagle defense pressure him? Do they cover the receivers really well where he doesn't get the ball off in time? Do they play soft coverage, or the linebackers blitz in? I have no freaking clue. I'm just going to go with the over. He does more than 5.5 rushing attempts. Let's see what the coin says. Here we go. The coin goes with the under for its tails, so it goes under. Again, the coin and I differ. Let's go with Saquon Barkley at 109.5 rushing yards. I'm gonna do this one real quick. He's a beast. That hurdle was insane. He's having a great year. I know he didn't win like offensive player of the year or I don't think he was gonna win MVP. But this dude, did he win it? Man, okay. Forget. I'm not going to record over this, but look, he's good. He's very, very good. I got to go with the over. Could the Chiefs' defense stifle him? I mean, it's not even that great of a defense, but I'm going to go with the over, and let's see what the coin says. This is crazy. Tails, it went under. So Again, the coin and I differ. 2-point conversion. And by the way, this is a heads or tails coin. This is not a trick. It's just 4 times in a row it's tails, and 4 times I went the opposite. I went the over or heads. 2-point conversion. Will there be one? I don't have the stats on this. I just thought it was a fun player prop bet. The NFL is going much more heavy with the 2-point conversions, but I know that coaches also like to play it safe when things get a little bit tight. I just feel like it just mathematically it makes sense for teams to always go for 2-point conversions. I know but humans are not robots, and it's not all about data. I'm going to go with yes, there is one. I'm going to say heads is yes, no is tails. Here we go. The coin says no. That's 5 in a row, tails. And who's going to win? I'll say Chiefs is heads and tails is Eagles. I think I'm going to go Chiefs. Let's do the coin. I'll give you my rationale, and then let's go and do it. All right, here we go. Heads is Chiefs, tails is Eagles. All right, the coin does say heads. We're both going Chiefs. Here's the thing. Seeing a three-peat would be really cool, but I mean, not really. Like I grew up in the 90s Jordan Bulls, 2 three-peats. You love to see dominance. Neither team is really an underdog. They've both won it recently. I feel like the Chiefs are going to win mainly because of the referee help, and I think that's what's frustrating so many people watching the NFL this year. People talk about it being scripted. Do I believe it's scripted? No, but do I believe that there's some shenanigans and there could be some sort of like tomfoolery? Absolutely. I think it's silly, but that is the current world we live in, where everyone is skeptical of everything. That said, I have no dog in the fight. I have friends who are on both sides, probably more Eagles because I live in the mid-Atlantic and like the eastern seaboard. That said, I hope it's a fun game. I hope it comes down to the last play. If I had my druthers, neither team would win, and it would just be a tie, and they would play forever until their legs fall off. I just want to have a good time. It's more, again, I'm a sports fan, but I'm kind of not jaded, but I just want to see something fun. Again, it's a rerun of the last TV show that we saw 2 years ago. So I will be watching for the ads and the halftime show and all that stuff. Kendrick Lamar, which I don't even listen to his music a lot, but the kids love him. I think he has some good songs that I like. Again, music makes me feel so old. But I hope this was fun. I don't know. I'm gonna just publish it and then see how it goes. So if you like content like this, leave a comment and like and subscribe and all that stuff. But that's it. Hope you guys have a great Super Bowl Sunday. Again, it's a federally registered trademark, so be careful using it.